move towards our panel discussion. So today here in the panel discussion, it is going to be interactive. Well, it's not just the panelists. We also have a time where you all also get a chance to ask your questions and put across your thoughts towards our panelists. Also, let me tell you, now that we move into interactive and insightful discussion here on the future of entrepreneurship, our esteemed guest will be discussing about innovation and disruption. It is going to be the blueprint for tomorrow's entrepreneurs. So everybody here, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our panelist here. Begum, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. She's the CEO and founder of Intellectual Legal Holdings, a visionary leader in legal industry and received doctorate in aviation. Vinita, Surana, our executive director of Surana Group, founder of VinVinSituation Venture Fund. Chetana, Kaasam, co-founder of Legal Corner. Let's welcome Swathi, Rusheetha, the founder of CEO at Knowvation Learnings. Now let's have Kavya, Nagesh, CEO brand Cameo, and an insightful, interactive discussion. And then you all also get a chance to ask questions and put your thoughts across. We're going to have at least 5 minutes of Q&A for our audience as well. But first, starting with our panelists here, well, let me tell you all that innovation and disruption, these are the two cornerstones and keywords of any business out there. So we do have a couple of questions, starting with, first, for you, what is the driving force for, first of all, before the question, I would see all the women out there here on the chair. I've just noticed it now. All the women entrepreneurs here on the stage. So on this note, I think we can have two questions. The one would be, what do you think is the driving force of the entrepreneurs in today's time, the innovation and everything, and in continuation with it, what do you think can be a driving force for the women entrepreneurs? Anybody could answer. Who would want to answer first? Let's have from you, ma'am, first. Okay.
Sure, please ask. Check. Okay. So, for me, if you ask, the driving force is the problem that I'm working on. And so, Knowvation Learning basically works for the students. We help the students understand technologies in the right way, build projects, and get placed in the right companies for whatever talent and skill they have. So I think every day when I talk to students, I see that they're not being able to learn the technologies in the right way. So I just want to change that, and I want to build the next Silicon Valley here in India. So I think that's the driving force for me.
Hi, so I'm Chetana. I'm a lawyer and not an entrepreneur as such, but I'm the owner of my own law firm. And if you have to talk about driving force, so I don't agree that everything is hunky-dory for women out there. We have a lot of challenges. And because of one of those challenges, I decided to come out and set up my own practice. And I do see, I meet a lot of women entrepreneurs. It's not a level playing field yet. So it's a long way to go, and the driving force should be whatever is inside you, as she said, whatever is driving you to succeed. And we as a society should be able to provide them the right tools to succeed, to help them succeed.
That's true. I know that we still live in a patriarchal society. Men are always favored, taken more seriously. And I completely resonate when she says it's not hunky-dory, because every day you have to prove your credibility, every single day. And whether it is, getting higher sales, making those connections, business relationships, maintaining them, or even like at a small level, like graduating from a university which is more credible than your male counterparts. And I feel really bad saying this, that we still live in an era like this. But I have faced proving myself every single day. So I think that for me is, now I turn that obstacle into a kind of a weapon. I'm like, okay, today I'm more equipped than my male cousins in the family business. And so I think using those obstacles to make them your greatest weapon, I think that was really cool.
Well, I think that's really great because in way of knowing everything, in way of proving yourself more, we tend to know more than our peers in the way. Yes, ma'am. Anything that you would want to add on this?
Yeah, hi, myself, Dr. Shamashad Begum. So I worked as a legal professional. I started my career as a lawyer, practicing lawyer. Then I worked also for the corporate for long decades. So even then we talk about global, and when we talk about policy and so many things. So still we are in men-dominating societies. Whenever any decisions will be taken, always there will be biased decisions. So you don't even believe my qualifications. Just I want to say I'm BSc and MA, LLB, LLM, MBA, and I have done lot of global certification from Malaysian University and IIM, many things. Even then, there will be some problem with the growth. So even though we work for the global companies, so considering that, so I wanted to explore more and more. Even though I was heading the global team of the legal team, so for multiple geographies, but still I have the hunger of working for the different verticals. Like I'm an IPR student, I could not get opportunity to work on IPs, and I like technology, but there was barriers that we can't work on the technologies and we have to hire the outside counsels. So considering all those things, I moved out as an employment and I started my own law firm. That is, I can't say law firm, it is a proprietary firm. It is an intellectual legal holdings. The intellectual word I have used because of my passion of intellectual properties, IP, where I wanted to do the doctorate in 2005, which we could not succeed due to many reasons. Now I'm doctorate in totally different field in aviation. So I want to tell the other entrepreneurs or everybody that nowadays the technology is growing. Okay, there are a lot of opportunity to explore and grow, and there are a lot of opportunity to start the innovation. And I have some static number which I will tell later on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And yes, as ma'am, you've said that you have done. You've said your list of the degrees that you have. Well, that was really long, and we were really listening, and we seemed such a pleasure to sit with you then. But also, with so many things, and as you said about the blocks that you got on the road, what do you think was your inspiration? Okay, even if I have these difficulties, but there's one thing inside me that I have to continue, that I would not give up, but I would continue. You also went up and took a doctorate in aviation. So what was your driving force for that? Yes.
So for doctorate, it is a totally different story because when I completed my Master of Laws, I wanted to do the doctorate from National Law School, Bangalore. In fact, I'm from Bangalore. So my topic was selected. It was the patents from National School. Due to family reasons, I could not continue. So recently I moved to Bangalore that time, and my job, my work was very important than my doctorate, so I dropped out. So when I joined, I worked with Metro Cash and Carry. So I used to visit a lot of time to Hyderabad as a part of Metro Cash and Carry. That time also I wanted to do. I went to my Karnataka University back. So they told me that you have to be in-house to do that doctorate. So then again I dropped my dreams. So in 2016, my earlier company, so they nominated me to do the courses from Malaysia University. So leadership development course. I was a topper for Malaysia University. They have given me the scholarship. Even my company also given me the scholarship. That time also I planned to do doctorate in 2016. So that time I was constructing my house. So the interiors were required. So I thought money is more important for me, for my family, not for me. So I dropped my dream. So recently, my younger boy, who is here with me, so he's studying in aviation. So yeah, Mamad Mateen is here. So he is studying in aviation. During COVID, I can say that more than him, I studied aviation. Okay, like that, I thought that aviation is also booming industry. So when I moved out from an employment, I became the board of advisory for his institute where he was studying, International Institute of Aviation. So this, my encouragement is my son and chairman of IIA, the Dr. Sumit Susilan. I want to refer him and I want to appreciate him. He is not only mentor for my PhD and also he guided me that I can still think about doctorate at this time.
That's really empowering, ma'am.
And recently I have completed my doctorate. In November, I got the officially certified doctoration.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think that was really empowering and inspiring for all of us. And Kavya, what would you want to add on that? What are your thoughts?
First of all, good evening, everyone, and hello to my fellow panelists and the moderator here. I'm Kavya Nagesh. I'm a graduate of IIT Hyderabad, and I'm also CEO and founder of brand Cameo, which is Hyderabad's first turnkey integrated entertainment marketing company. Now, first, answering the question of what drives innovation and what drives an entrepreneur to go forward with. To add on to the points, I would definitely say undoubtedly it would be passion. Because you might really indulge in a very disruptive business, something extremely innovative, but over the time, if you're not passionate about it, you might get profits out of it. But then what next? What keeps you going? I think the one thing that keeps us going is the passion. And also entrepreneurship is something about mindset where you're constantly learning, constantly growing, and if you don't have passion towards the field that you are working upon, I think that wouldn't really act as a very good driving force. And for the woman, I would definitely say having a strong belief system about ourselves is a very important thing. Because as women, even though we believe we can do, there's so many external factors that is hindering our belief system, which questions our confidence, and so on. So having a very strong confidence, very strong belief system that we can do it, in spite of what people think about, I think that is very, very important for women entrepreneurs specifically.
Well, that's a wonderful insight to that. As you also spoke about the disruption. So I can see here, Swathi, Rusheetha, what would you have to add on that? How can someone, just go ahead in a disruptive environment and not stop and still keep moving forward?
Well, on a funny note, I think everybody's mom drives them even when they want to quit. But when it comes to disrupting any field, personally, I think that, it all depends on the groundwork and the marketing that an entrepreneur does before starting out. So once you have a clear picture of what exactly are you going to do, who is your target, who are your audience, so based on that, there's a clear picture of the path that the entrepreneur has to go, and if the path is clear, the disruption is for sure. So I believe in the only strategy is know your audience, and once you know your audience, there's nothing stopping you back. So yeah.
Yeah, well, that's really great. But how do you think someone just adapt to the situation and then thrive on and keep going on?
Someone adapt.
How important is adapting the situation, the entire situation, and then keeping, going on forward?
I think it is very important that, that we should stick to our instincts. Sometimes every entrepreneur has, for that matter, that, one time they just want to quit and they just want to end it all. Like mom said, she had so many hurdles, and maybe if I were her, I might have considered leaving it also. But mom was so persistent and she got her doctorate finally. So I think it all depends on mindset, like she said, like you just have to make up your mind so hard that nothing can just break it, and only then you'll be able to move forward.
I think that's a wonderful, thought behind it. And also, Vinita, I would want to ask you that what for people who, who dare to do innovation in their field in any way, how do you think that they should start? There are so many people who want to start as an entrepreneur. And they do have some, they might have some, innovative ideas, but they might not have the resources. So what would you want to add on that, or what would you want to say to the budding entrepreneurs?
Yes, thank you for that question. In fact, I think my investor journey started from thoughts like that. The biggest thing I can tell a startup founder who has a great product or a great service or even a great idea is reach out to mentors. Reach out from LinkedIn, reach out from incubation centers, reach out from friends and family. So there is a thing in the investor world. The first round of your fundraise is always from friends, family, and fools. So reach out to anyone and everyone who can believe in your idea and product. And this doesn't mean that you're faking it till you're making it. It is just that sometimes you just need one person to believe in you so that you can, achieve that success, achieve that greatness. So in one line, if I would tell anything to the entrepreneurs who are on the edge of innovation, that reach out to the right partners or mentors.
Well, I think that was really nice. Yes, ma'am. It would be great if we can hear something from you as well.
I have something to add to what she said. So many entrepreneurs don't just be in your bubble and keep innovating and get out there, and it's as important to network. Keep discussing your idea. Don't give away your intellectual property. Discuss your idea, get review from your peers, understand your product or your offering, and go to the market and test it.
All right, ma'am. So, as being a lawyer, as you said, that how do you see what future holds for the one who dare to innovate in their respective fields?
That's a very tough question to answer right away, but there's regulation is also constantly innovating with all these new technologies that are coming up. In fact, I was studying more about AI in preparation to come for this panel discussion. And we know that, we still don't have a clear definition of AI, which means that we don't yet know fully how to regulate it. We are trying to come up. Every time there is a problem, we're trying to come up with a way to solve it. Through whatever we face right now, but there's no way for us to predict what other problems may come up and fully frame our regulations yet. So laws and regulations have to also innovate along with everything else that's happening around us.
That's really a right way to look at it. And Kavya, what would you want to add to all the entrepreneurs, be it budding or for the one who are already in the business? What does the future hold them so that they can dare and do some innovation in their respective field?
Okay. I would say the future of entrepreneurship is very bright because if we see the ease of getting into business or becoming an entrepreneur is comparatively very easy today because of all the AI tools that we have, because of all the guidance, free resources that we get. I mean, I'm too young to know what kind of situation it had been a few generations ago, but for the point to point out, I would really say without having these tools, the things would have been very much difficult today, right? So we have a lot of resources to learn, to grow, to inculcate in our entrepreneurship journey. So the ease of doing entrepreneurship easy, but the only thing that we need to ensure that when we are going forward with the entrepreneurship journey is to ensure that we are constantly growing and learning, and we are open to embrace new ideas, because since the ease of doing business is also very easy these days, there's a lot of competition, there's a lot of noise as well. So how do we ensure that we stand out is, just to be confident in your choices, embrace new technologies, embrace new ideas. And I think in that way, entrepreneurship is definitely going to be very bright for all our youngsters and all the people who are aspiring to get into it.
Well, that's a great answer. As also, along with all of these, you also said that being the youngest one, then how much do you feel is AI important for today's generation or for the upcoming businesses and entrepreneurs?
AI is definitely very, very important in anyone's entrepreneurship journey or any business that you do. Rather than considering it as something that would replace us, it would act as a complementary tool for us to help our business grow, to help us do our work with ease. AI is definitely very, very, very helpful for us in future. I think every person who are getting into business needs to have even a little bit of knowledge of how AI works and what kind of tools we can use so that we can use it in our business.
Well, thank you so much for your answer. And moving ahead, ma'am, I would want to ask you, as you know, with your list of things that you have in your bucket, I would say just a feather that's in your bucket, how important you think is innovation in any entrepreneur's life or in their business?
Yeah, because I'm audible. Yeah. So nowadays, all the organization. So because nowadays all becoming a digital transformation, AI and all, it is becoming common. So to support and grow in the industry as well as entrepreneur, so it is not only important to use the many techniques of AI, but also to consider the regulatory impacts, because a small miss or small non-compliance will lead to the lot of issues. So not only the regulatory statutory requirements and also some compliance requirements also there, and data privacy requirements, so many things they have to consider before considering any AI. So when we talk about AI, as one of my colleagues said, so there is no proper definition for AI. So as per my understanding, that AI may lead into lot of IP-related challenges, because we are using multiple tools, we are using multiple ideas to create the AI platforms and all, that may infringe the copyright or trademark of all those things. Not only that, and online business, we can see that lot of infringement of IPs will be there. So they have to be very careful whenever they plan about the AIs. So if they want to do the AI related startups or any new business ideas, it is very important for entrepreneur to contact their counsel. Without that means, they may end up into a lot of challenges, because the infringement of all these activities have the huge impact and huge financial penalties.
Well, I was about to ask the next question to you only, referring to that. As ma'am said, what would you want to add on it?
Just a tiny bit to add. So we very recently started adding AI clauses in our service agreements. Until now, they weren't there. We're only just started to negotiate, and they're mostly concerning protection of data of the, of the parties, and what kind of data is the AI analyzing. How do you restrict that? It's mostly related to that, but every single service provider here should keep this in mind and include the AI-related clauses, because it's very common to go to, whether ChatGPT or Gemini, to get some information pertaining to that product or your service, and you have to understand where that information is coming from and to regulate it properly.
Yes, and I think these days the copyright issues have become a new trend.
Sorry?
These days, I think the copyright issues have become a new trend. So what do you think are the ways that, suppose if a young, I think the experienced entrepreneur would have seen it before and might have ways to tackle it, but what would you want to say for a budding entrepreneur or someone who has just started with their business? So what do you think they can do, or what resources they can have if they face such situation?
Same, it's again what I just mentioned. Make sure you have the right clauses to protect the copyright content also. Say if you have, there was a recent case, right, with the news agency versus the chat GPT, I think, where they allege that the AI had used their information and incorporated it within its knowledge, and it's giving out responses. So that is copyrighted material, and they actually, the issues they had faced were several jurisdictional issues, because we don't know where the servers were located, we don't know where the LLMs were being taken from. So you have several issues. Laws have to keep, innovating, as I said earlier, for all these new issues that are coming up now.
Well, that's really, I think you have really put the light on the right thing here.
So I want to add something to this. So whenever the new entrepreneurs want to work on R&D and other related matters, right? So we advise that once they reach some stage, it is advisable for them to register, whether it is a trademark, patent, or something, so that, because tomorrow we don't know. Anybody can copy the ideas, and anybody can do anything under the name of the AI or against something. So it is better that they will protect it by way of registering it, either copyright, patent, whatever kind of nature of the work it will be.
Well said, ma'am. I think as I would really want to have a clear picture on this answer, that how much important innovation is for the entrepreneurs out there. It could be for the budding entrepreneurs or for the experienced one. Vinita, if you can put some light on that, that would really be great.
Innovation is the way to go. I can give you an example of Surana Group. So 50 years back, we were in the cabling business. So if you know, we had landlines, and the cables that go underground, that's what we were manufacturing. Now, when the world moved from landlines to cell phones, we missed out on that technology because we weren't ready for that kind of innovation. So having said that, after that, what we have done is, in every industry that we go to, we have a research and development department. So what we missed out, 20 years back, that we don't want to ever repeat that again. So when it comes to solar energy, what was working 10 years back is not working today. So we are constantly upgrading, constantly investing in R&D, and we want to be the pioneers of what is not yet present. So it's very easy to build a business that is working, replicate a business in another country that is working, and bring it to India, or something that is already doing well. If you just want to be another person to make money, it's very easy. But to disrupt what is not yet present and to be futuristic and take those calculated risks, I think is the need of the hour, and you can't escape that as an entrepreneur.
Well, rightly said. And you want to add something to that, ma'am? All right. Swathi, yes.
So when it comes to innovation, more than innovation, I believe in this statement, the KISS statement: keep it simple, stupid. So what this means is, many people have this perspective that if it is called innovation, it has to be something very extravagant, very big. It has to be like, this is it, like that. But most of the time, innovation is just one small, simple idea, right? And for mostly the startups that I have been seeing a lot of startups that are coming up, mostly studentpreneurs. So they think that there has to be a very big application for them to achieve something or do something, and they should have tons of money sitting in their bank to do something, or they just need instant investors to who will just come and pour money into their banks. But I think that is completely a wrong perspective, right? So I think when a person is starting out, even if the idea is already existing, innovation comes when you are trying to implement it in the right way, right? That is called innovation. Yeah. So I think the idea not necessarily has to be completely unique and it's like groundbreaking. It just has to be innovative enough that it is simple for the users to understand and it is easy for them to, use it. So I think that is what innovation is in my perspective.
The
Rightly
idea
said.
has to solve a problem. That is key. If you're not solving a problem, you may not be innovating. So, yeah. Not every startup that comes up, as she very rightly said, you may not be a startup in the sense of a startup. You may just be, a business idea or something that you may or may not need funding. First of all, think about that. Not every startup should go for funding. The moment you call in for funding, there's a big responsibility on you that you have to make sure that you're repaying your investors. You at least the 3x or 5x or whatever you're promising. You get your funding only if you're ready to be able to give those returns. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and one more thing is that an entrepreneur is somebody who is trying to make a business. Most of I think nowadays it has become the new fancy that, if I say I'm a startup founder, I'll just have to go to some co-working space and, just sit down over there, work on my laptop, take few calls, and that is what being called a founder is. But I don't think that is the right way. Most of the founders, like, the companies that have been set up, years back, all those founders, they went to the ground, they worked on the ground, only then they were able to build such big buildings and they have staff, so many staff members. It was not that, okay, nowadays we don't have to not necessarily, just go to the ground and all, but we should always see where our audience are and go to the audience, understand the audience pulse, and then, build our startup around it. Or just go to the problem and try to build the solution around it, to put it in the right way.
Yeah, it's like filling the blank.
Yeah.
You fill the blank spot.
Yeah.
You would want to add something on that?
Thank you. Hello? Yeah. So I deeply do resonate with what our co-panelists have spoken about. Because answering your question of the role of innovation in a business, I would definitely say, even if it's a business idea or a startup, even if it's a B2B or B2C, D2C, whatever it might be, the most important aspect of any business idea is the audience that you're catering, the kind of service and product that you're rendering to those people or companies per se, right? So innovation is something that provides value and solution to the people that we are catering to. Without innovation, there is no problem solving. That is how I see it, right? And as ma'am has pointed out, innovations need not have to be groundbreaking or anything of that sort. It is something that provides a value. There's so much competition, there is so much of noise around us. People might be providing very same kind of service that we are providing. But how are we providing that additional value addition to the people that we're catering is something that is innovation here. So in brand Cameo as well, we are not doing something groundbreaking here. The kind of service, it has been there, but we try to understand market gaps in the very same services. And I think we have been collaborated with one of the largest Telugu audio houses. And I think one point that they sold out was because we have provided a solution, an integrated solution to the service that they're already aware about. And I think that is innovation, and I think innovation keeps us going. That is how we keep our clients happy. Without that, it is just, you're just providing service, not value added. That's how I see it.
Yes, I absolutely agree on that. Yes, I think we can make it louder, right? Thank you. All right. In continuation with this, Vinita, I have one question for you. How do you think that, how much is the relationship of an entrepreneur, the relationship between the entrepreneur and with their clients or the people important? And what is the team's role? Because Once the business is set, it's running, your team, the member, they are the one who are actually going out and doing the stuff. And the entrepreneur manages the stuff above that. So above, when you start your business, how important it is to build the connection with the audience, and how important it is to have a right team who can, take forward with the business.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think dream work is teamwork, or teamwork is dream work. When I was an entrepreneur, I used to build teams within the organization to represent us. So what I mean by that is there used to be uniformity in, say, our marketing, HR. The messaging used to be the same. The vision and mission would be ingrained in each and every team member. Today, as an investor, I look at every founder as my team member. So what do I look for when I wake up in the morning? I want to wake up in the morning and have that founder check. I want to be excited about meeting them every day, about growing businesses together, about impacting their lives, about upgrading their families while we are upgrading us, upgrading, the city's ecosystem or the country's ecosystem. And if we have a little bit of contribution to upgrade anyone's lives, businesses, or mindsets, I think we're doing our job right. So for me, team today is like family. So you don't get to choose your family, but I think my team is my chosen family. I feel so blessed to have such great team members within Surana Group. But the new thing, the new fund that we have around 12 startups in that fund. And every startup is just such a beautiful ecosystem in itself. So the team is the cornerstone to any business. Yeah.
I have something to add to that. So how do you ensure that your team is as invested as you are in your startup? Give them stake. Don't just treat them as employees. Give them stake, give them stock options. Make sure they're invested in the growth of your company. And that's how you'll grow together. I recently read a very good quote, that if you have, say, a couple of founders coming together, and if they're initially starting to fight about, it's my idea, so I should get, say, 70 or 80%, then that's never going to work. You have to trust your co-founder enough to give them 50%. That's when you're fully invested. It doesn't matter if it's your idea. They're bringing in something. If you're going in as co-founders, trust them enough to give them the 50% stake. Make sure your team is getting stock options initially so that they can value that and make sure you grow your company, for themselves and for you.
And overall growth and overall flourish is what you are trying to say, ma'am. And overall growth or flourishment is what you're trying to say for the entire company, not just for the one, but for the team as well.
Working for you, they have to be invested in your company.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Just in addition to that, I think the team should also share the vision. For a team to be as invested as the founder, I think it is the founder's responsibility to make them see the vision of it. What is it that they are going to achieve as a final goal? If the founder is able to make them see that and make them to share the same vision, I think that's a win for a founder. So, yeah.
I just wanted to add this. So we've come up, our latest venture, we've come up with a creator hub for a co-working space for creators. And the name for that is similar to my fund's name. It's called VinVinSituation. And one philosophy that I have stuck by is the founders make the money first and then the investors. So it's always a win-win situation, at least when it comes to my fund.
No, just I wanted to add that only teamwork, trust, collaboration will bring the success.
And if any one of you can put a light on how much important it is to have a great relationship with your clients, the relationship between the entrepreneur and the client, the trust between the two.
Yeah, I would like to add on this. So we should not forget that entrepreneur journey is not so easy. To reach that stage, that's you, your contacts, and you have worked with all the clients to grow. Even though you have a team and you can trust them, you can collaborate, and you can always do anything with the team, but still you should have a touch with your client, and you always have to be in touch, and you have to discuss the new business models, new partnering with them, and you should not consider them as a clients, you have to consider them as a business partner, so that we have to tell that you are not our clients, you are our business partners, so that we can grow together.
That's really the right point the ma'am has said. And well, as we're running short of the time, so we'll do have one or two questions, and then we open the floor for the audience, maybe for at least one question. Any one of you would like to put a light on for the budding entrepreneurs out there, the one who wants to start their business, and what is that one thing that they should really think creatively about, and what does the future holds for the entrepreneurs out there?
I think I've already covered. Solve a problem. Make sure you don't run to an investor. Make sure you have that, a need. Only go to first of all, put your full money. If you watch Shark Tank, they've explained it very clearly. I'm talking about the US Shark Tank. You should be fully invested. You shouldn't be doing multiple jobs or some other job. Give up everything. Focus fully on this. And yes, you have to have a right support system for an entrepreneur. As she said, it's not easy to be an entrepreneur. So you have to have a family that's supporting you, or friends who are supporting you during those years when you are fully invested, putting your money in it. Only then go to an investor. That's my one piece of advice.
As Kavya, you wanted to add something. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a budding entrepreneur myself. I still have a lot to learn, a lot to grow, a lot to learn from all the people right here.
Yeah, so I think this is the right question for you to ask, and it is the right question, a right answer that we can get from you, actually.
As a budding entrepreneur, I would definitely want to say for my fellow budding entrepreneurs not to be scared, because entrepreneurship is very intimidating. Where we are dealing with so many clients, we need to come out of our comfort zone. Me being an introvert myself, I had to kind of come out of my comfort zone, learn, interact with people, do things which is considered hard, and I have done so much, and I still have a lot to go, definitely. But only one thing is, once we come out of this perception of not coming out of this intimidation that usually come alongside entrepreneurship, I would definitely say don't be scared to do anything. Just go forward. Once you get used to it, it just becomes a norm. So just go forward. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, a great answer. Yes, ma'am. As it would be really great if we can hear something from you as well on that.
I just want to add one important thing, that invest on your ideas, not on any infrastructure.
Yeah. So when it comes to entrepreneurship, I think for the budding entrepreneurs, it's been almost 2 years that I have started out with Knowvation learnings, and till now we haven't raised anything. We are, for starters, we are a service-based company, of course. Though we are building our product, we never raised funds. And every time I get this question, how is it that you're so sure that you don't want funds? So the reason I don't want funds is, I don't want an external person coming and telling me what I have to do. It could be in a good way, definitely. But if I wanted to do that, maybe I would have gone for a 9-to-5 job, right? I didn't do that for multiple reasons, but this could be one of the reasons. Second, I think they should start focusing on building the business, right? According to me, even a dosa selling person, pani puri guy, they are also entrepreneurs. They are doing much better business, honestly. And considering the fanciness that we are tagging around just one word, that is entrepreneur, it has become so fancy that people are investing on things that are not necessary. For starters, it could be the infrastructure, it could be, the equipment that is not necessary. Like, they just want to invest, and they'll one day they'll burn out. And that's when they say, I had a startup, I just quit it. That should not be the statement, right? You should quit it because you were unable to go forward, not because of finances, right? So I think these should be the points that are to be considered. Like ma'am has also mentioned, solve the problem first. Focus on what is the problem, and like I've been mentioning, start with your market research. Do you really think that there is a need? Not just in your opinion, but actually in the society, do you think that the need is there? And why is it that you are the right person to solve it? There could be hundreds and thousands of people out there. So why is it that you are solving it? So yeah.
As I said, the filling the blank. Why are you filling the blank? That is really important. Anything, Vinita, that you would want to add on it? And as we can sum the entire panel discussion.
I'll just answer this question first. I think if you're a talented entrepreneur, don't be scared to reach out to investors. If you have the proof of concept, if you're in a business where you've gotten 2 stores right, and you want to go to 15 stores, reach out to the right investors who will be your co-founders, who will not make you feel like it's a 9-to-5 job, or who won't put the pressure on you, but who will hold your hands and walk with you in this journey, get their resources, get whatever they have in their armor to your plate, and maybe the growth journey might be faster. And that time, you think about how you can elevate your family, how can you elevate, today if you're employing like 10 people, what kind of impact can you have if you're employing 100 people? So when you have that in mind, don't be scared to join hands with the right people for the growth. That's my 2 cents.
Well, that's really wonderful.
Before going for audience, I want to give some statistics. I want to give some statistics about the startups and entrepreneurs for 2024. So, as per the survey done and published in Economic Times on 26th of December, so as of December 25, 2024, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade has identified 157 startups as on 25th December. So the number was 450 in 2016. It has grown from then. Today we have the 157 startups in India. So more than 73,000 companies have at least one woman director. So it is not only that woman empowerment, but it has become the mandatory under Companies Act also that one woman director is important in most of the companies. Then when we talk about the unicorns, the India is hub for unicorns. This time, so we have added Rapido, Ather Energy, Moneyview, Perfio, and Crutirum. So these are the new unicorns added in 2024. But the very sad part, they have quoted that, so number of new technology startups launched in 2024 have declined 65% from last year. It's all because of lot of barriers and lot of things they are facing. So it is only advised all the entrepreneurs to break the barriers and accept the challenges and go ahead.